So we all know, like, in the middle of the heart field, it kind of does one of these, which is kind of in the middle of a heart. So it's kind of like the key to the heart. And we know that there's a 6 here and a 91 here, which is an awful lot like when you write a 6, you got to understand that there's enough room for a circled 9. Okay? And we also have the 5D, fifth dimension, or LOVE, and that's in the 6th column. And that starts with a 0, 6, 7, 13, L. Guess what's next? Not even kidding. Okay. Funny, if ego is 322, 5D is love, and anyway, tells me that there's a V element involved, which is very important, because making V's is important. Where am I going with this? If this is the equivalent of a 5-pointed star as a 1, of 1, of 7, of 13, of 110, of 2143, if that's an expression of this, let's look at that L again, because L would be the 50th Roman numeral, or the number 12 in the alphabet, or 12 plus 26, 38, I guess. So anyway, yes, the American flag. Okay, in here there are 50 of those. Right? What does that mean? So that's thought the first. Thought the second is a little bit more thought out. So I drew that. There's your star. And there's your 6. It's the first position of the heart. So if you fill in the first position of the heart, well, might as well first position of this quadrant, mirrored first position of this quadrant. Oh, I did a quadrant in the middle because I thought it's a 5-pointed star. There should be 1, 2, 3, 4, and a middle quadrant. So the way I'm looking at this now is that if this is an input, and this has some kind of like input, maybe this Roman numeral L has some sort of input. A diamond. X marks the spot. It's where the fish are trapped. And you put an X and you cover it with a diamond. Makes a little Nemo fish. Anyway. So it looks like we're having an input, an input, an input, an input, right? So we have like maybe like one input in the 6th column, input in the 7th column, and maybe the 8th column of nothing is literally an input. Not here, not here. I guess not here, but the next one. The one before the center sounds appropriate. So when you hit the one before the center, it's an L, and at the end of the L, it's the Roman numeral 4L. Seven and 50. If you make a V here, like, again, The V here is what I think the white space is in the clover. So maybe that's a cellular way of saying love. L O white space V bum of heart E. I'm thinking of a Mos Def song. Love, love, you know, boom. So there's other V's and things, but you know, rotate it and there it is. So where I'm going with this is that I think there's a way of looking at it from the center, because we know this. Okay, you have to know this line to draw this, and you gotta know at least where the sixes are. And there should be 7 6s. So like if that's a 50 and that's a 50, that's a 6. Circle 5 to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because that really kind of is the technical next level. I always said, because this is Charon as well, right? That's the first step, and that's the 18th step. There's R and A. There's Ra. So you gotta abide by the principles of Ra. You got this one. You got this one. You got this one. This one. You know, there's 7 6s, let's say. And if you're starting the Sudoku, the only two ones that are touching, if like, other than the heart, obviously, the answer are these two. How many lines on the first page of the Bible? 126. Gotcha. So I think the Sudoku starts here. And your evolution from a line or a segment will be a V. Maybe that's why there's 8 red and 7 white lines on the American flag. Maybe it drew it wrong. Maybe it's like the L. Eh. Yeah. The 6 is in this quadrant of the middle. So let's just circle the 6 with the L. And then the 7 will be in this quadrant. And we circled the 76 with the V. There's your 7 7. Or the new bubble here oh, that makes sense. You know? Circle 6 is a 12. 50. Wow. Seven in a circled 6 is a 14. 2 14s is a 28. Bring the L. Bring the bubble and the 12. I don't know. So, yeah, this is where your 13 goes for sure. Well, you know, it's always 1 of 7 of 13, and your 13 is definitely that 1, and then that bubble, a bubble, a bubble, and that actually is a 13. And it's being X'd to the other 13. $13, 12, bubble. I get 28. Anyway. See, the other part I think is interesting is circled 6 has enough room for a white 9, and There's your circled or white 9 here. And your 5, 5 could be a 6. And circling it can make it a 7. There's 7 here. 13 here. Guess what's here? Jesus Christ, eh? See, that's interesting now. Maybe it goes... Ah. Right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 away. Whatever. Just... That part's pretty fucking self-explanatory. I don't know. It's lovely. L-O-V-E. L-Y. It's funny that that's a V. It's kind of interesting that that's yeah, this is a 1 here. This would be an 11, and that's an 11. An 11 and an 11 is a V. 22 is a V. 22nd letter is V. Happy. If that's a 5, and that's a 5. That's an O. It's pointing to a 13 again. If you only knew the power of 3, 6, 9. I think that's what that means. Anyway, I'm no Nikola Tesla. I'm half retarded. And obviously has some kind of social disorder. Who should be on lithium and medicated heavily with pharmaceutical drugs.